Welcome along to Dubarry Park in Athlone for today's live stream of Connacht versus Sale. Pre-season rugby, beautiful day. I'm Rob Murphy and my normally Galway Bay FM colleague, but today here for you guys on the stream, William Davis. How are you?
I'm good, Rob. Yeah, looking forward to it. Beautiful evening. Sun is out. It's warm enough and pitch looks magnificent. And the players have done their warm-up. They've all gone back to the dressing room. The only person on the pitch at the moment is our mate James Crombie, best photographer in Ireland. He's wandering around there waiting to see what's going to happen, a bit like ourselves. Connacht will be disappointed, I think, a little bit with the performance in France. No injuries, good run out, but Cast are a good side. They're second in lost the Pro 14 final last year, or the top 14 final when you would have expected them probably to win it. So that was a serious game, and Sale will be a big challenge tonight as well.
Yeah, 53-19. I hope I got that score right. Cast, of course, start their season, I think, in just a little over a week, William. Sale start their season in a little under 2 weeks on a Friday night, and it's 3 weeks for Connacht. All of that stuff must matter at this time of year.
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, sides are gearing up for their first game of the season, so the French are ahead. English side like Sale getting ready to do something similar. So Connacht are probably a little bit further back. But 3 weeks tonight they'll be in Belfast, starting with an interprovincial, something that's entirely new. I've never remember that happening in a regular season. We did play interprovincials at the end of the first COVID year, but that's to come. Tonight's job is for the players who are out there for Connacht and the players who are out there for Sale. They want to show the coaches that they're ready to go. It's a much changed side for Connacht from the Cast game, so these guys get their opportunity now. Their teammates are all sitting down beside us here. Have all arrived.
Even the internationals. Bundiaki's there, Finlay Beelum.
Yeah, I think I've seen Dave Heffernan as well. So, I'm sure Mark Hansen's around somewhere.
I saw Tom Curry there from a Sale Sharks perspective as well. Chilling out, enjoying himself. Why shouldn't he? But along for the week, they've spent a week here in the west of Ireland, over in Galway. Obviously, we're a little bit closer to Dublin here in Athlone for those of you who are tuning in from Sale to check out how your team are going. But what we normally do before the game when we're on radio, why not keep the tradition going on the television stream as well? So we get William Davis to read out the teams.
Thank you very much. Here we go. We'll start with Sale Sharks. This is the team we've been given. There will be, I'm sure, a few changes with numbers and stuff in these type of games. 15 Luke James, 14 Byron McGuigan, 13 Sam James, 12 Conor Doherty, 11 Aaron Reid, 10 Rob Dupreez, 9 Joe Simpson, 1 Ross Harrison, 2 Acker van der Merwe, 3 Nick Schoonhart, 4 Cobus Visa, 5 Matt Postlethwaite, 6 Jean-Luc Dupreez, 7 Ben Curry, 8 Dan Dupreez. Now, we're not going to list the substitutes just at the moment because the substitutes and their numbers are likely to change, and we'll keep you up to date with those during the game. Let's have a look at Connacht. They line out with one change to the announced team from yesterday. 15 Tiernan O'Halloran. Diarmuid Kilgallen was listed at 14. He's not playing. Shane Jennings is in there. 13 Tom Farrell. 12 Shane Bolton. 11 John Porch. 10 Conor Fitzgerald, 9 Kieran Marmion, 1 Peter Dooley making his Connacht debut, 2 Dylan Tierney-Martin, 3 Jack Ainger, 4 Josh Murphy making his Connacht debut, 5 Gavin Thornbury, 6 Jared Butler the captain, 7 Conor Oliver and 8 Paul Boyle. And I will give you the Connacht substitutes up to 23. 16 Owen de Butler, 17 Jordan Duggan, 18 Sam Elo, 19 Dara Murray, 20 Oisin McCormack, 21 Colm Riley, 22 Shane Jennings. Josh O'Connor is 23. Charlie Ward, Bart Vermeulen and Donncha Byrne are listed, but when they come on they won't have numbers. So we'll see if they actually are part of the game this evening.
Well, here we are. Sale probably favourites, William. Connacht don't tend to come into these pre-season friendlies and dominate English sides when they're playing them because they're always just at a different pitch. But the conditions are perfect, and I think it could be a good old battle.
Yeah, I think in these games it's not really about results, it's about performance, and it's an opportunity for players just to lay a marker at the start of the season. They've been training, remember, since July the 11th, which is a fairly long while ago. That's when Connacht came back to the sports ground. Obviously, their international players are barely back, but training is one thing, going through all the physical training, the endurance training that they've done, and then they haven't played a game. Most of these players haven't played a game at all. They may have had a couple of run-out inter-squad games, but this is the serious end of it now, and it's a big opportunity for them. Sale will be the same way. Sale are a power side. They're a typically English side. They want to beat sides up, really, and once they do that, when they get the ball, we saw it last year with Leicester when we played them, it's about hard physical work and then moving the ball at speed when they see the spaces. Connacht's defence struggled a bit in Cast the other night, so it'll be interesting to see how they tightened up on that a little bit. And one issue for Connacht in these games against English sides, they tend to run into a lot of traffic, particularly in midfield, and when you get to second, third, fourth phase off, they get stuck. So it'll be interesting to see, are they going to try to play a slightly different game? You go wide against these big sides, if you don't get the accuracy, you get into all sorts of bother.
Connacht, of course, in the Challenge Cup this year will take on Newcastle, and a game like this could be useful early season knowledge. They're well used to these type of games.
Absolutely, that's the way they set themselves up. Newcastle probably aren't any different, except they play on an artificial pitch, which will be something that Connacht will be playing on very soon. This, in fact, effectively is Connacht's last home game, if you want to, and it is a home game, it's in Connacht, on a grass pitch.
Sale have taken to the field. Connacht now come out to the field as well. I remember that late change. Shane Jennings in for Dermot Kilgallen. It will mean an adjustment to the bench as well, where Jennings was meant to be on it. That said, they have 3 extra players on the bench, so they may not be adding someone at this late to it. Why would they need to, I would suggest. Connacht in their new jersey for the season ahead. No formalities before kickoff. Dubarry Park for years has been a venue that Connacht have used for games pre-season, and if you go back a decade or so, a bit longer, there was some big matches here.
Certainly was. Famous tight games played on tough nights, I'll tell you. And a ground that's been used by Ireland under-20s in the past as well, so it looks absolutely magnificent. I think, and I'm looking at this picture that our stream people are looking at, and you can see, yeah, it's a little bit worn and a little bit brown, but this is a good surface to play rugby on. This is set up for fast-moving rugby.
Yeah, it really is. Brilliant facilities. Crowd still streaming in. Main stand looks pretty full here. I know season ticket holders got access to this stream as well, so welcome along everyone. New season is underway. Conor Fitzgerald, the Limerick man, gets us underway as Connacht will attack from left to right in the first half. Sale receive the ball, get themselves set, and already are off their feet at the breakdown or holding on. We'll see what the signal is, but the main point is Connacht have a penalty.
Yeah, referee Owen Cross in pretty quick there. We're also, of course, in the scrums tonight going to see the brace leg rule, which is still bedding in, having watched a lot of the internationals this year. It's quite a thing about timing pattern, but it's an opportunity for Connacht to get an attacking line out very early on.
They kick right to the corner and set themselves up. This Connacht line out has Josh Murphy in it. Joins Connacht from Leinster to start this season.
And of course, that's Peter Dooley as well, I'm assuming. So we'll see for lifting purposes. Is he there?
Here's the throw towards the front. And there's the man I mentioned. Josh Murphy is the target. Connacht small is coming up against Sale. Like most sides from the English Premiership, they are strong in these areas, but the hand is out from Owen Cross. An advantage to Connacht, it seems. Connacht get the ball to the back line. A chance to just move it on. Hands are good. Farrell didn't get the ball off Bolton there. Marmion moves it on pretty quickly. Conor Oliver was met with a wall of props from Sale. Still Connacht ball though. Still have the advantage. There's Peter Dooley's first carry in the green of Connacht. Another man to come from Leinster in the off-season. Shown goal from Kieran Marmion. Good tackling from Sale. Momentum going out of the move. But it's pre-season, so I have a feeling Mr. Cross will probably let these things go just a little bit longer to see how it plays out. Connacht not really spread out much here.
Yeah, they've got sucked in here. It's clever by Sale. They've really slowed this down. Connacht still have possession, but they're not. There isn't many options for them.
Oh, it's impressive. Low and high double tackle pushes Connacht back further. Fitzgerald's going to have to work something pretty special here with Farrell. Farrell gets chopped down. Almost got through there. Again, just 2 on 4 here for Connacht. Fitzgerald doesn't seem to be going anywhere. His advantage, I don't know if it's still in play. Conor Oliver. Danger got ahead of him there a little bit in the clean out, but all good, says the referee. Dooley is a big loosehead prop. Interesting to see how he settles in. The man from off late. Good move from Fitzgerald to Farrell. Little bit of interference perhaps. Stopped the man on his shoulder, but Connacht still have it with Paul Boyle. The Gorey native does very well. There's a chance on the short side here. Quick pass out. Almost worked. Was it Porch coming in there at a rate of knots? We'll go back to the penalty. That's a long advantage.
That I think is the longest advantage I think I've ever seen. No, maybe there was a second defence, but he's actually marked it where he marked the first defence. That was long. They're talking about an advantage clock has been suggested. I've seen on some situations that it should be a clock that runs for a certain length of time and then advantage is automatically over. That did seem a bit long really, because Connacht weren't going anywhere, to be fair. But Conor Fitzgerald's put them into touch again and we can start again.
Lots of number changes on sale. We got our man Alan on the duty to try and get all the different numbers. I think we're being told Joe Simpson's wearing 25. We'll keep an eye on that. But anyways, look, we'll keep an eye on it. Throw to the front of the line out. Same move for Connacht. Josh Murphy to target. This time Sale 11 infringe, but Connacht have a bit of momentum to spin off. Is it a bit messy? It is. Ball had to be transferred away from the maul. 5 metres from the Sale line. Early stages here. No score.
Conor Oliver maybe at the back there to break off and push it through.
Nice little carry from Ainger. Nice pick and go, and Connacht are over, and they have the first try. Superb stuff. Great start to the campaign for Connacht. I think it might have been Dylan Tierney-Martin coming through. I hope I haven't taken the wrong guess there. Oh, anchor Conor Oliver has got to try.
Yeah, he was loitering there on the side. He actually almost made a little dummy run, and I think he'd sucked in one of the tacklers. That was nice and patient from Connacht. That's what you need to get. They were initially in a little bit of bother on the drive, but they steadied themselves, and that's a good solid start.
Oliver was involved 3 times in the series of plays that led to nothing really. Went back for the advantage, but he's been lively early on, so is Josh Murphy. A lot of involvement from the forwards.
Peter Dooley as well.
Big carries, big man. As we know, he's come up against Connacht many times. Conor Fitzgerald's distinctive style as he dips his head down into the ball as he kicks it, but he's just pulled that or drawn that to the left of the post. And he'll be disappointed. 5-0 to Connacht. Good start, long way to go.
Yeah, there's no wind. He'll be a bit frustrated with that. The flags are almost limp beside the flagpoles away to our right. That's 2 points that probably have gone a begging a little bit, but the next phase now for Connacht is to get stuck in on this kickoff.
The catch. The take from Tom Farrell. Kieran Marmion steadies himself. Gets the clearance kick outside the 22, and Sale have their first platform of the game.
I think Simpson is 28. I've never seen a rugby player with a 28 jersey before, but it's their first line out. Taking their time, they're just going through their calls. I suppose this early in the season, there might be a little bit of confusion around as to what's being called.
We'll see. The throw. Good pressure from Connacht. Could have been a knock on off the hand of Butler. It was. Connacht dive on the player on the ground, uncross quickly on the technicals. And the Merv with the throw in. And Sale kick to the corner.
The distinctive voice of Devault Senecal, the Connacht forwards coach in the background there. It might have been picked up on our microphone. They are very close to us here.
Van der Merwe to throw in. Getting the message now from Ross Harrison. And Sale are in position to strike right back. Can they do so? Throw towards the middle of the line out is solid. The maul looks set. They look strong. Connacht's over-eagerness gave away that penalty. It's allowed the Sale to get this platform.
For the crab in infield, they haven't made a lot, but it's clean possession.
But what is the decision? Offside. The Sale back line came in too quickly. Ooh, real technical call. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't. But the thing was there, the Connacht managed to get them moving infield. So the backs weren't paying attention, that they were sort of not panicking, but they got caught there just too close to the hind foot. That's okay for Connacht. They'll be pleased with that.
Aaron Reid is the 28. 25 is Joe Simpson for Sale. They just come with a set of jerseys and just thrown them around and said, listen, grab whatever you can grab there, lads, put it on. In their own minuscule style. And we at least know that they are as lined up, we're being told anyways. Dylan Tierney-Martin, Grand Slam under-20 winner with Ireland, thrown into this line-out for Connacht. Gavin Thornbury wins it, throws it down, very flat pass into the centre that actually probably caught Conor Fitzgerald a little bit off guard and he knocked it on. So great platform, Connacht goes a begging. Simpson gets the ball away. Sale have numbers, they can move it, and they're trying to do so. Let's come all the way out there to the far side. McGuigan with the carry. Now Sale are back in field. They do like to use their power. Connacht on their feet over the ball, how's that? Penalty against not supporting your own body weight, I would suggest, is the call against Tierney-Martin. William.
Yeah, I would think so. That was good work by Connacht again there, because they were stretched, but they got their defensive line up quickly. But the referee's right on top of that. Big season for Dylan Tierney-Martin. He came into the regular team towards the end of the season last year and did very well in a couple of games.
In South Africa in particular.
Yeah, so he's going to be looking to kick on. Comes from St Joseph's College originally, the Bish, where I went to school a very, very long time before he did. And good Galway rugby school.
Conor Oliver's 5th-minute try is what separates the sides. Sale have visited the Connacht 22 since, and an infringement in the offside in the back line, stepping in too quickly off the line out. Cost them that chance, but Connacht knock on in the middle of the park has let Sale back into this, and then off their feet at the breakdown has given Sale a platform on the 22 this time. Target is Wisa. The ball is dropped and it's picked up by Sale. Went
backwards apparently.
Joe Simpson. Out it comes. Connacht trying to rip the ball out of his hands. That's Thornbury, but it's not going to happen. Simpson gets it out again. Schoenert. And I do believe the guy without the jersey is Jean-Luc Dupries. One of the two brothers in the back row. And another brother at out half. Quite the story. Connacht putting in the tackles. Good stuff from Fitzgerald. Some calls from the fans for an infringement, but not being given. That looked very borderline as a pass. Curry comes through on it. Ben Curry couldn't find a man. Connacht got a turnover. Quite the competitive start. From a Connacht perspective, they'll be very, very happy.
They're putting a lot of pressure on. They're really getting stuck in, and they're in Sale's faces, and that's a couple of errors that they've got. They want to work this back now and get a clearance, so they get a little bit of a breather, and that's twice into the 22, and they've come away with nothing, which is a good solid start by them. Using
the left boot of Fitzgerald, they take play 10 metres outside the 22. Good work there before that on the carry from Butler, who captains the side today. So on many occasions, of course. Jack Carty announced this week as the club captain for the year.
Yeah, you'd have to say there again, Peter Dooley was heavily involved in that defensive effort.
You're liking what you see so far?
Yeah, he's just making himself very conspicuous when he's involved in those defensive patterns.
Big high throw, and it certainly found its target. Sale now crashing through in the centre. That is impressive stuff there from Conor Doherty, and it sets up a really good chance for them inside the 22. They force the passes out, and they may well get the chance to Pries. There's an advantage coming Sale's way. They may not need it. Aaron Reid all the way out there gets tackled by O'Halloran, who's coming back to rescue things. There's an injury that they're just checking in on as Connacht are trying to defend. Sale ball, referee has going back for the advantage. I wonder if that's partly because there's an injured player, but either way he just felt.
Yeah, I think it could be because of the injury to the Connacht player, because he certainly didn't leave that advantage go anywhere near as long as the Connacht one. He's having a bit of he's just explaining that maybe to Sale. Two dummy runners for Sale there confused Connacht a bit. And it was
this is on the Doherty break.
Yes, yeah, there was two dummy. The 7 was cutting back inside, and he caught their attention.
Clever.
which is, it's a good solid platform.
Conor Doherty, 22 years of age, scored a try for the England under-20s in his time with them.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of time at under-20s these days. A lot of the players, it's one season and out. So it's again, you want to make your mark there. Dylan Tierney-Martin is a player that's come through that system for Connacht. Just check in on Connacht player. I can't identify who he is. He's just down there in the corner. I think this is just the standard precautions.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that in a second.
Yeah, I think he is potentially not going to be continuing.
Both sides in their huddles now.
Yeah, they're having a chat while this is done.
As we get ourselves ready, we're going to have a change. I think it's precautionary, I hope it is, but they're definitely going to make the change. Yeah, there's movement now. So that's good to see. 5-0, Conor Oliver with the try early on in this game. Connacht have defended well since, William.
Yeah, they have done, because they've worked hard in defence, and they've just got in Sale's faces. Simple stuff, just rush them, and they've made a couple of handling errors. And they'll be frustrated 2 visits to the 22. There also does seem to be the opportunity to attack the Sale line-out, but it doesn't look as sharp as Connacht's is so far.
Shane Bolton is the injured player. He's got back on his feet, which is good news, but as a precaution, he's going to come off.
Yeah, he looks okay there coming off. It's just he got a bit of a bang around the neck area. That's a frustration for him. He didn't play a lot of rugby last season, not because of injuries. He just wasn't being selected. And he would have hoped tonight to have a chance. He looks perfectly okay there walking off. He's got a little bit of blood coming from his nose, so he's had a bit of a bang. But in these type of games, you're off. That's why you have plenty of substitutes. Much
like Jeremy Kilgallen, though, you really, this is their one pre-season chance just to get a bit of rugby under the belt. Kilgallen had what looks like a hamstring injury beforehand, and now this, so that's disappointing.
Yeah, it's tough. Because once the season gets up and running, you've just got to keep driving yourself on if you haven't had as much match time as you'd want.
Great to see Shane Bolton walking back and looking okay. As you said, looks as a result of that, it is precautionary. Scrum to Sale, platform for them. 14 minutes gone. Beautiful evening here in the heart of the Midlands in Athlone. Buccaneers Rugby Club have absolutely fantastic setup here. Great to get a chance to use it. Josh O'Connor from the Connacht Rugby Academy, wearing 23, is on the right wing now for Connacht. I'm not sure if they count these as full debuts, William. They probably don't, but it's certainly his first chance to.
First time in a first 15 Connacht jersey. Yes. But I know what you mean. The statisticians have different ways of rating these games.
2 appearances for the Ireland under-20s in 2020-21 for the Wexford native O'Connor. And I'm sure all the Connacht fans around the world will be keen to keep an eye on all these new faces. It's a very familiar looking setup with Dooley and Murphy slotting in today for Connacht. Some of the other new players got their chance, including David Hawkshaw over in Cast earlier in the middle of the week, just a couple of days ago. Sale set themselves up. It's the first look we've had at a scrum, I think, William.
Yeah, I'm just watching this new braced leg rule for the hookers. It's you can pull it back on the last phase by the referee's call.
It's a bit of a mess. I wonder if that's what we're going to be seeing early season, messy scrums, as they get used to it.
When it came in first, it seemed to be a complete free-for-all, but now the referees, particularly at international level, have been told to absolutely stick on top of it. And it caused problems in the New Zealand-South Africa series particularly. I don't know what that was. It's very inclined. It's slightly hard to describe. The hooker braces his leg, both hookers, one leg forward. They can only take it back into the hook position when you hit the engage call.
Really good setup for the ball boys and girls here. A lot of the members of the Buccaneers mini rugby and underage rugby setup around, ready to help out and keep the game flowing. Line out will be to Sale because that was a free kick.
And they can't even give Sale a wet ball tonight. They don't have to worry about that. Used to be the old trick with the ball team.
Not wanting to sound like we're going back over history, but that reminds me of a Narbonne match here about 21 years ago where they weren't very happy. There's a kick downfield. Josh O'Connor really been put under pressure there.
Clever kick. It just
and
dropped.
It looks like the knock-on came from Sale then, which I find hard to believe. But
that's well, Connacht have maybe got away with that a bit.
Maybe it did go back off his hand.
It's very difficult for O'Connor there because if he'd taken a step forward, he could potentially have hit the Sale player without either of them really getting near the ball. So it's come out on Connacht's side.
Alan has pointed out to me, our stats man, that we haven't mentioned that Shane Jennings is, of course, now slotted into outside centre alongside Tom Farrell with that change. And that's Josh O'Connor on the right wing, and of course John Porch on the left wing for Connacht. The scrum, by hook or by crook, is Connacht's on the 22, and William, with the injury, which thankfully wasn't too serious, and everything else, we've had a pretty scrappy few minutes.
Well, these games can often be like this. You have players playing their first game. Sale look a bit rusty. They've probably had more issues with handling than Connacht. That's a good solid scrum by Connacht.
From Connacht, but they were under pressure from Sale. Switch of point of play back to Conor Fitzgerald, who sends it downfield. Aaron McGuigan is going to launch a kick right back at Connacht. Connacht need to be alert to this, and I don't think they are. Fitzgerald positioned his body to try and make sure it was an easy catch, but it just hasn't worked out, and now Sale can attack. The pass is loose. It comes all the way in the end to Ben Curry, though, and he can take the play into the 22. Jack Ainger stopped him in his tracks. Ball was bobbling around there, but it's still Sale's. 5-0 to Connacht, but Sale have had most of the play since. Simpson. Dupree's 1 of 3 on the pitch. In this case, the out half. Lovely little offload in tight situation as Sale now starting to show some really good signs. Sam James gets the credit for that, but Connacht have got over that ball and they got the penalty, and Paul Boyle is the man getting the taps.
Sale are getting caught in those situations. They're being slowed down. The referee's talking to them. They're not committing to moving the ball quick enough, and it's given Connacht an opportunity to compete really, really hard there. That's about the second or third turnover in those sort of situations. Connacht are hanging on a little bit, but when they get into that defence, Sale aren't really asking them any questions. They'd want to speed it up a bit, I think.
There's questions for Owen Cross from Sale, though. Combination of Dan Dupree's and Ben Curry both speaking to the referee there just to see if they could get the interpretation. Plenty of respect as well as they did so. It's like a communication issue to be fixed as well. Sun shining, evening sun here in Athlone. Peter Dooley delivers the call to Dylan Tierney-Martin. Connacht have been here a couple of times and they haven't really made anything of it. Well, they've been here once about 10 minutes ago. The other time, of course, it was Sale's line-out, but they'd love to get a platform off this and get just their second visit to the Sale half with ball in hand in this game. Coming up to the quarter mark. We've had a few stoppages. The movement is there. The ball is transferred back. And it's Connacht's as they drive forward. Sale are certainly showing great resistance. But body position is pretty good from Connacht. It goes to ground. If there's a turnover, it'll be Sale ball, but it's presented very well. Ainger took his time on that one, and Connacht have given away the penalty. Sale did seem to come in over the top of that, but I think it was very much Connacht's fault for letting it go.
You cannot just stand looking at the ball. That had to be moved. Jack Ainger was too slow there. He was looking around for other players or being asked to know what to do. He had to take it. That was good, clean possession. They'd worked really hard to get that. And referees answering more questions from Sale.
I think that Rob Dupree's is asking about the penalty that went against him in the lineup. So he just wants a bit of clarity about next time, when are we allowed to come in. I think that it seems to be pretty clear that that signal he was saying is when your hands are out, we won't come in, but if they do.
Yeah.
It was such an unusual technical penalty. You don't see it very often. Referees usually are very clear on the signalling. So maybe Rob Dupree's has a point. I'm only suggesting it. Who knows? Kick towards the corner. Chance for Sale to launch another platform. Conor Oliver's try, the only score in the game.
Well, Connacht have invited this onto themselves, so they need to get defending again. That was an opportunity before that penalty to maybe move the ball up the pitch and get on the front foot. Hasn't really happened for them.
Sale have completely dominated territorially. But
without really getting near the line, though. It's more sort of up to the 22, and then they've run out of ideas a little bit. But you feel eventually they will get one of these moves to click.
This amount of possession, he'd knocking on the door. It's going to pay off, and Verva to throw in. Oh, Connacht are up, and they've robbed that. Beautiful play for Connacht to get that turnover. Was it Josh Murphy's hands? It was. Good way to make an impact in the line-out.
Yeah, Sale line-out hasn't functioned as smoothly as Connacht, so that was good, solid.
Yeah, the throws on both sides have been a little off accurate-wise. It's not a bad clearance kick from a tough angle from Marmion, but Sale have a platform 10 metres outside the 22. Great crowd in here.
Yeah, they could do with something maybe to cheer about a little bit, I think.
Lots of chatter.
They're waiting for something to happen. Get the ball in, get those backs moving. That's, I think, what they're looking for. But it's a magnificent evening for a game of rugby. It's fabulous.
This game will spark into life with some move at some point. Ben Curry, Simpson. It's a bit of a slow structure to what they were trying to do there, and it should be easily read, and it is. Connacht have stopped them in their tracks 6 metres outside the 22. But the next couple of phases where we might see Sale come into their own. Postlethwaite with a good carry. Big second rows.
Yeah, they've got options left and right here, but it's the big men are really moving us.
Show and go. There's Doherty. He's broken through the line once already, but Connacht are driving him towards the touchline. Great work from the vastly experienced Irish international Kieran Marmion. 28 caps for Ireland. He knows what to do in that situation, and drove him into touch.
Yeah, they slowed down again. There was an opportunity to kick over the top, actually. I thought the out half, when he got hands on the ball, might have done that, but they're a little bit ponderous. But Connacht need to get out of their own half to start with. It would be helpful just to get into the Sale half and see if they can get themselves moving.
Connacht put some pressure on early and got the try eventually on the 5th minute from Conor Oliver. Since then, no score, 5-0.
Good off the fast ball off the top. That's a bit better.
Tom Farrell a bit isolated there.
Yeah, clear out was slow as well. They're slightly on a different page, I think. Yeah, they're just walking away from it. Connacht, they're frustrated with that, and they just keep inviting Sale back onto them.
Yeah, at some point, Sale are actually going to score if you keep this up. And surely now, 6 metres from the Connacht line. There is something inevitable about this. Connacht don't seem to have a pathway to get up the field. But we'll see. They've managed to disrupt and defend. I mean, we've got to give the credit to the Connacht defence, William. The last one in particular was a great line-out.
And you'd feel that they're going to have to change the line-out call here to do something that the Connacht mightn't be able to attack. We'll see what they've called.
Postlethwaite is right beside Visa. He stepped out. Visa jumped up. It's interesting that he stepped back and then ran back in. It's a technique that might give them a bit of momentum. So far, no good. Hands up from the referee, meaning the backs can't come in yet. Now the hands are down, so I presume they can. There won't be any offside issue. Ball comes out. Maul was going nowhere, I should say. There's a kick. It's off a few boots. It should be open play, and it is. Tiernan O'Halloran has it now, and he belts it downfield. And I'll get a good applause from the crowd. My word, that's frustrating for the Sale Sharks. I mean,
and now we've got our fourth line out in exactly the same place, straight in front of us. It's the point about that was they did try to kick, but that was the wrong time to kick. The time to kick previously on the previous move, when there was actually space in behind, that was trying to thread the ball through.
But it's impressive maul defence from Connacht. We know the English Premiership sides caused Connacht a lot of trouble in the physical stakes and in that kind of exact zone last season and in previous seasons, but that's impressive.
Yeah, it's good work. It's all about attitude and understanding your role. And Connacht are trying to play the game a bit faster than Sale are.
A couple of Connacht players just getting what looks like fairly routine treatment.
Yeah, Paul Boyle's just had a bit of a bang on the head. I don't know, he's trying to put a contact lens and he was...
26 minutes on the stadium clock.
Yeah, it's probably... I would think maybe if we had 4 minutes of stoppages, 3 maybe. Depends what the referee, of course, it's fully at his discretion this evening, so...
Jared Butler and Paul Boyle, but it looks like Butler is off. Walking, looking okay, but...
Well, that is going to disrupt them a little bit. You see who comes on. Oisin McCormack, I think he's been called.
Only down the road in Ballinasloe is where he's from. Big chance for him. Superb displays in the Irish under-20s. Along the way as he's been making his way through, and he's on now. But Butler didn't want to be coming off that early.
Yeah, you get the feeling that in this type of game you don't get the opportunity to run off an injury. You just get pulled because it's pre-season.
That's what happened to Bolton. That's what's happened. Now, Bolton obviously was more precautionary as well. Sale have won a shortened line out, so they'll be happy with that. Now Dupree's has launched to Gary Owen. These Gary Owens have caused Connacht trouble, so let's see how O'Halloran does. Seemed to get the body position right, but didn't get the catch right. Sun in his eyes probably didn't help. Connacht have said that ball's out. Referee has agreed with them. Well, that is another turnover for Connacht. They could have numbers here if they can get it through the hands. Good spin in the contact from O'Halloran, but the momentum was gone out of the overlap, if you like. Tom Farrell is wrestling his way through the contact. Can Connacht protect the ball at the breakdown here? They've struggled in that area. Marmion has said she just scooped the pass back. Connor Fitzgerald has said she just pass that on once more, and Connacht need to clear out. They've got a penalty. Breakdown is a bit of a mess in this game across the board, but finally Connacht are going to get a chance to get a platform in the Sale half to field for the first time in the guts of 20 minutes.
Yeah, they've been ensconced. I think that was the sun that was just straight into his eyes.
That's why they're turning the body as well
to try to get away from it. It's not something we complain about very often in Connacht games, the sun getting in your eyes. It's we often struggle in different weather conditions to this. This might be the nicest night we have for a game of rugby all season.
Don't underestimate the sports ground to throw you the unusual sun. We can have our days, but yes, I hear you, especially since it's going to be a later start this season with the new pitch.
It's usually accompanied by a bit of wind and rain, and the sun pops out for 5 minutes. Connacht halfway between the 10 metre and 22. First time they've been here for ages.
As I said, there's no stop clock in the stadium, but it's a good line out. It's worked well to Thornbury, and they get it straight out to the back line. There's Farrell, came back at the end of the last season, put in some good performances after being out for injury. Fitzgerald looked like he was holding on to that for a while. A turnover was inevitable. Oh, that's an absolute mess for Sale. Can they rescue the situation? McGuigan can't, really, to be frank.
Well,
after a big turnover.
That's not one he's going to want to see on the highlights reel. He may have knocked it on, but his kick then, I think he actually has managed to kick it backwards into touch. So by a bit of luck, Connacht have a good attacking position.
After getting turned over again at the breakdown. So they wouldn't want to be too buoyant about it, but they have to take advantage of it now. Byron McGuigan found that tough. Dylan Tierney-Martin, who's the target. I think Oisin McCormack is just getting himself ready to possibly lift Gavin Thornbury. No, it's towards the back, and it's Paul Boyle that's the target.
Good change of line-out call.
Connacht's maul is initially 17-18 metres away, but it's still looking potent. Marmion is ready to take this out. Sale are all offside there. Marmion couldn't take it out because Sale have come through the middle of the maul and ripped the ball out of his hands. You don't see that very often, and that is mightily impressive.
That's very impressive by Sales. Poor by Connacht again. When you see that happening, you need to make a decision. I think Marmion was desperate to get his hands on the ball a couple of seconds earlier. It's a game there's quite a few technical things going very well, but it doesn't have that buzz quite about it yet. But that's a great steal.
Absolutely superb, and I do believe I think it was Van der Merwe. I'm just trying to see, it was one of the prizes. Tell you in a second.
Well, there's a good chance there is, because there's three of them.
No, it was Van der Merwe. Yeah, it was the hooker. Did superbly well.
Getting in place of the brothers.
Yeah. Some of the Sale fans online will catch me just saying Dupree's sometimes out of hedging my bets. That's a turnover, the line-out from a Connacht perspective now, so the line-out fortunes are fluctuating, but they're very pre-season-esque. Halfway line is a nice place to start an attack for Sale. Looks like they want to launch another Gary Owen. Didn't have a lot of room to really launch it, but he's got it over into the shaded side where O'Halloran's gone up. Connacht could come back and rescued it. Forced the pass a little bit there perhaps, Farrell, but Connacht have it. Oh, that's good work from Josh O'Connor. That's a nice way to announce yourself into the game. Peter Judy's just timed the pass there where he's taken the hit, got the ball away, and it was absolutely a thing of beauty. Connacht now have a bit of a momentum. Shane Jennings coming off the back line. Forced that pass a little bit early, possibly skirting on the edge of the forward situation. But anyways, Connacht now caught and isolated at the breakdown. Time and time again that's happened, and that's a shame because Dooley's work had opened up something, but I just think everything was a half an inch off.
Yeah, just sort of half a second behind, and eventually when you get out wide there isn't enough force to drive you through. Good hands again, beautiful pass by Peter Dooley, and excellent work by Dylan Tierney Martin.
Yes.
He took the pass and kept it going, but Connacht have been marched back to the 22 again. They've spent a lot of this half there. You would think that Sale will keep banging away, but when you've been here 4 or 5 times and nothing has really happened, you do wonder, do you become almost, you feel you have to make something happen?
Line out is Sales. Ball is still theirs. Simpson. Van der Merwe, who's pressing us early on.
Connacht are up hard on the line all the time.
Doherty's offload there was lovely. Sorry.
Just they need to get sliding across Connacht, but they've slowed them again.
Postlethwaite is a good ball carrier. Connacht are over the top of him there. Connor Fitzgerald, or wasn't Connor Fitzgerald, I beg your pardon. Is that Oisin McCormack coming in? He's only just on the pitch.
I think it is, yeah.
It is Oisin McCormack.
It is Oisin McCormack. Great work. But he was left isolated by his own team. Nobody really got there to help him.
Postlethwaite has carried well in the game, but it's no use if no one's with him in his defence.
Yeah, referee's been asked again about something, but
yeah,
not in a. It's just maybe
it's
interpretive thing. Yeah. I think.
But there's been a lot of penalties against Sale, but then penalties are fairly ratcheting up against Connacht as well. That's where Sale have got most of their platforms. There's Fitzgerald with the left boot. It's a good start for Oisin McCormack. Good start for Josh O'Connor as well. We're only talking about single moments, but lovely when you're coming off the bench in a big game to get those chances. O'Connor had a lovely carry a few seconds ago.
We're having a water break. I'm not quite sure why we're having a water break after 33 minutes. Well, I suppose it's
with the injuries,
maybe 29 or 28 minutes.
Yeah, close. It could even be more stoppages. So that's what we're having now.
Hot weather in the west of Ireland causes water break. That's a headline. Well, I can imagine in France it was 34 degrees at kick-off in Cast, apparently, which is warmish.
Connacht have replacements numbering 8 replacements here. They're just going to run down and take this opportunity to stretch the legs in the in-goal area down on the far side.
Bart Vermeulen is one of them. Born in Belgium. I think he must be the first Belgian-born player Connacht have ever had. We'll have to find out a little bit more about him.
Good work going on in developing rugby in Belgium.
Refs decided they've had their minute, but players are still...
I like that from Doherty a few seconds ago. He's been a threat there at 12, and he's definitely keeping Tom Farrell busy. I think Farrell has stepped to inside centre, William, and Shane Jennings outside centre. I think that makes sense, doesn't it?
It would do. Yeah. It would do. He's played there before.
Shane Jennings, a former hurler, of course, and a star of the Irish under-20s. We're excited about his potential.
It's great to have sporting talent like that, isn't it?
Oh, stop. That's the way it is. Little stoppage while Matt Postlethwaite, 25-year-old Sale Academy graduate who played for England under-18 as well.
That's a bit of tape on his leg.
Tape on his leg, yes, indeed.
Which I notice he's doing himself. Which is probably, he knows exactly the pressure that he wants in it. Both his knees heavily strapped. He's been their best player. Yes. By a distance.
I'd make a minor case for Van der Merwe, but then you'd have to question his lineout. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, that's the problem with that position of hooker. You can be having a mighty game, but if you're not hitting the numbers. Thornbury somehow rescued by McCormack. Ball sent into the middle of the field. Tom Farrell sent backwards by Ben Curry, who is certainly showing well. Knocked on by a Sale hand. So free play for Connacht just for one phase, anyways. Launched off the left boot in the Gary Owen sense of the word by Fitzgerald. The chase is very good. And Oisin McCormack has decided I'm going to be everywhere, which is a good way to start. As he makes the tackle. Sale ball, but they're 12 metres inside their own half of the field. Connacht are not rolling away at the breakdown.
Yeah, those are soft penalties. And they're that's the type of penalty that coaches don't like. Because you're competing, you're trying to get the ball, but He got to maybe step away a little bit. Sale had that under control.
Oh, that's a good touch finder. Tiernan O'Halloran, has he rescued that? He has.
He has.
Wow. That is impressive. And now he's going to belt it right back at Sale. Sale are going to think about taking it quickly, but that is going for the extra metre or two, and it backfiring.
That's really, really good work by Tiernan O'Halloran. Trying to drag every metre out of it. He jumps superb. Up, pushes it back into the field, makes sure it goes backwards. You could say that's a play that if it goes wrong can embarrass you, but it didn't, and Connacht are back inside the Sale half.
I haven't said that too often in the first half, but they do hold the lead to that 5th minute try from Conor Oliver. Hope you're enjoying this little look into Connacht's pre-season wherever you are watching around the world. You may well be just watching at home in Connacht, who knows? But anyways, don't forget, season starts in 3 weeks' time, away to Ulster on a Saturday night. Connacht have got a turnover at the line-out again, William.
Yeah, that line-out just isn't functioning perfectly for Sale. None of their clean catching has worked well, and Connacht have decided to attack it now because they might as well.
Conor Oliver brings the ball into contact. Sale's defensive wall is a wall. Look at this. Every time Connacht take it in, they are just sent back.
Yeah, it really is impressive. It's so hard to make a yard or a metre.
Peter Dooley, Marmion played that very well. I mean, there may have been the clearest infringement in the world. We couldn't really see, but Marmion certainly played his part in showing he couldn't play it.
Postlethwaite's not happy. He knows that was a bought one. But fair play to Kieran Marmion. He's been around a long time.
And Conor Fisher now can belt the ball into the corner, and considering Sale have visited Connacht 22, I want to say about 6 times.
6 or 7 times they've been. Well,
Connacht were to score next, William.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you know when you get the opportunity to really annoy the opposition. That's what you have to do. That's a good kick. Linesman stops a metre outside the 22. Good left boot. What have we got? We're nearly at the last minute according to the clock, but I'd say there's 4 or 5 minutes to be added on here, especially with that water break, which took 2 minutes. So if he's adding it all, there's plenty of time left.
Dylan Tierney-Martin to throw into the line out. Josh Murphy to target at the front. That element in an attacking context has been decent from Connacht. Maul hasn't been bad either when they've got it going, and that's considering it's up against a pretty solid Sale pack. But this is a bit scrappy, so Connacht need to break off the side, and they have. Tierney-Martin does well. Marmion, ball out to Tom Farrell. Is Jennings right with him? Farrell does very well. It's going to come out again. And there's good timing of a run. Dooley gets it out. Turnberry, he stopped just short. That really should have been a try, I think. Sure it is now. Fitzgerald whips the ball all the way out. Josh O'Connor is going for the try, and he scores. What a moment for the academy man in his first chance to wear the senior jersey. Second try for Connacht, and that was brilliantly created.
Lovely, well done. Well worked move, nice and patient. Kieran Marmion took his time, made a few yards. They backed their passing lines. You would have thought Gavin Thornbury had a chance of going through, maybe even Josh Murphy, but in the end it was moved wide. And as you just said now, Sale probably scratching their heads a bit. They're 10-0 down. Connacht have been inside the 22 3 times. They've come away with 2 tries. Sale have been inside the Connacht 22 6 or 7 times, and they've had nothing. So
it's the kind of game that could change quite dramatically at any point. So while it's certainly looking good for Connacht now at the moment, there's a lot of rugby to be played, but it's a chance to add to the scoreboard here for Fitzgerald. Great timing from Tierney-Martin to break away from that maul.
Yeah, he got the right call. He either went on his own or somebody tapped him and said, you need to go.
Key. Just at the peak of the momentum. Just when it was getting scrappy.
Now, Conor Fitzgerald, can he
Looks
turn this
like it's
in?
not coming around. No, it's not. 10-0 for Connacht. Tries from Conor Oliver and early first half replacement Josh O'Connor.
Well, Connacht will be pleased enough for that. But they want to make sure now they don't let anything in before half time, because we look as if we still have a fair bit of time to go. Clock has actually stopped at 40 minutes and 12 seconds, I suspect.
It's the first time it stopped, so
yeah, I don't think that's being driven.
Count that.
That might just be simply that it's sort of first half is over and now it's at the referee's discretion.
That's a tough ball to win for Murphy. It looks like O'Connor was playing the man instead of the player, and he got a push back from Dupreez, who didn't like it. Anyways, it's a good kick downfield. First chance to see James on the ball here. Good chase from Oliver, good kick from James. O'Connor keeps the ball in play brilliantly. This man's got skills. He'll be isolated here, but he does very well to position his body and get that ball back. That's good. Boyle. Sale can't be supporting their own body right there, and they're not kind of protecting the better. Tom Farrell, that was a good decision not to give that, and he's burst through now. Marmion's on the shoulder. Oh, that's a knock on. Is it deliberate?
Oh, I think that's gonna. Yeah, the thing was the pass was actually the other side. There was a man absolutely free, but he couldn't. They didn't hear the call. It was
no replays for us here in the commentary box.
He was gone, but
on the left-hand side.
On the left-hand side, there was nobody in front of him. He just needed the pass, but Connacht cut back in field.
If that ball had got to Marmion, he was in as well. You get the feeling.
I think that's the referee's discretion in a game like this.
Also, it did initially. I got the feeling he played that, he knocked that on, but then on purpose. But you kind of looked at where his hands were. You could make a case for the fact he was trying for an intercept. So let's just take it as is. It is pre-season rugby.
It's really, really controversial in rugby at the minute, and I think it's very hard for the referees. But I would say
players do get intercepts in those situations.
If there was a TMO, that would have gone to the TMO, and I think he might have been in a bit of bother. But it's not that type of game. He's explaining that to Conor Fitzgerald, who's looking a bit fed up about it.
Tom Farrell did very well there.
Farrell did well because he changed position. He was going to pass, and then he realised there was a gap.
Yeah.
Because Sale's defensive line, which has been so effective, had switched off for maybe the first time in the game, and Farrell was able to show a little bit of pace.
Still Connacht ball in a very attacking position here, William. 10-0.
Yep, could be the last play of that half, I'd say.
Just you see the scrum, but I can tell you that to the left of that scrum there's two players. That's Farrell and Porch standing behind the scrum.
Scrums have been a bit
Fitzgerald and O'Halloran.
Slow setting.
And then on the right hand side, Shane Jennings and Josh O'Connor, they have been, and they've been scrappy, and you wonder about, you can see in the hooker position, Van der Merwe, this is where it's tough for them to try and adjust to this.
Especially this leg brace thing is, you really don't want to get your leg up. Well, you can't move it up. If you move it up at this stage, it's a free kick, or it might even be a penalty. But it's all a matter of inches, centimetres, and that you don't want to give the advantage to the opposition.
Interesting.
We're
watching this in detail. The French Rugby Championship Top 14 starts next weekend. Premiership the following weekend. United Rugby Championship a week after that.
Yeah, it was dumped on Ireland and New Zealand. They didn't know about it till they got there, but they seem to get okay in the test matches. Now the scrum.
Penalty to Connacht. Would you be tempted to take the 3 points in a pre-season friendly, or do you keep going?
Depends how long is left.
Straight in front of the post.
He might just go for another scrum. Nope.
Going for the corner.
All right, I agree with that.
In any other game,
Sale have
you'd be taking the 3 points.
Sale have switched off a wee bit here. I think they're a bit fed up about the way this game has gone for them.
Fitzgerald finds touch. Yeah, 6 metres.
Yeah, it's good driving range.
From the line. Let's have a look at this line out. What are you expecting?
I would think Gavin Thornbury or Josh Murphy. They've been the two main.
Murphy's been good at the front. Thornbury, there's always that Paul Boyle option at the back, but you don't really see it too often.
Well, I think if you want to get a driving mode going, it's which I'm assuming Connacht are going to go for, but of course they could move it out.
Here it is. Thornbury the target. Connacht have got it going. Now they get the ball out quicker than you might have expected. Marmion to Tom Farrell. He didn't have a lot to work with there. So that didn't lead to a big attack, but it's still a good platform. Murphy. Oh, that's good strength from the man who's come from Leinster. Out it comes. Dooley tried to brace himself for that. Had plenty of players on his shoulder. Underneath the post. Looking for a third try, which doesn't really reflect the balance of play in terms of territory, but Connacht have been efficient. Dylan Tierney-Martin, though.
Was well a little bit scrappy here, but they've reset.
Not much options in terms of out to the right here. Little bit to the left. Porch is standing way out. Boyle had a lot of time to think about who he wanted to run into there. That ball's come out a bit quicker than Marmion wanted, and he's snagged, and Sailor over him, and I think this could be the end of the attack. Connacht will do well, still have possession, and they do. No scrum half for a second. Oisin McCormick comes in to help clean that out. This is definitely a case of momentum lost.
It's slow, very slow, but at least they're still competitive.
Smoke from the food is coming across the ground. Fans probably thinking about the halftime munchies, but we are still here with Connacht in the ball, and they've knocked it on. Sale will get the scrum, and that is half time. 10 points to nil at half time. A quick summary with him.
I think there's a little coming together here now. Tempers have got a little bit frayed in the last couple of minutes. I think Sale feel the referees a bit against them, but they're also annoyed with their own play. They've had a lot of possession, a lot of position, and they haven't really threatened the Connacht line. Connacht have had 2 clear-cut chances to score tries, and they've scored them. So they lead 10-0. But as you say, in a game like this, that doesn't mean an awful lot. But it'll be interesting to see what Sale try to do. I think they need to speed their game up. I think they need to go out and try to get a bit of width on it. Connacht will be happy enough. They made most of their tackles. They dealt with some of the physicality, and they have got at the Sale line out. And that's been a good effort. And I think for the fans here in the second half, they'd like to see maybe a little bit more open play, the ball moving around. And as players get a bit more tired and substitutes come on and resets, I think we might get that.
All right, try from Conor Oliver in the opening stages of the game, and a try from replacement Josh O'Connor on the wing for Connacht in the closing stages of the half. Mean Connacht lead by 10 points to nil. We'll take a pause here in the commentary booth and join you in the second half. Welcome back here to Barry Park. Sale are taken to the field, and we are going to have Connacht following them. 10-0, 2 tries. We didn't come, like, we've seen enough pre-season games in our time to know this is what happens. It's a good game, but it has its moments where it's a bit scrappy.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, the timing patterns are out. Sale in particular. Connacht have moved the ball a couple of times quite well, but neither side is at full pitch. And that's when errors can occur. And I think what might happen a bit in the second half is it could get a bit more open. It's a big part of it. I think Sale's concentration went a bit at the end of that half, and Connacht made them pay. They got the score, and they should maybe have had another try, but some good work in defence. And Connacht being not quite sure how they wanted to finish the move off. A little bit of inconsistency in the thinking. But you'd prefer to be 10-0 up at this stage than 10-0 down, and it's it'll be interesting to see. I'm going to see if Sale can try to speed this game up a bit, because they've had a lot of possession, but they haven't really asked as many questions of Connacht as they would have liked. Young ball boys just kicked the ball on there for the Sale out half to have to kick off.
Up to breeze. I see Andy Friend just walking in.
Beautiful evening. It's getting a little cooler, a little darker. The lights have come on here.
No changes on either side, I'm going to go with, because I've had a look around. Hope I'm not wrong there, but I just can't see any.
There'll be plenty to come.
Yes, indeed. We've had a couple already, of course.
We've had a couple on the Connacht side
McCormick
already.
in the first half, and Josh O'Connor, who scored a try. McCormick had a role in that try.
Yeah, on for Jared Butler and Shane Bolton off. Both looked pretty precautionary to me. It looked like this stage of the season you're not going to tell a player to run off anything or give it 5 minutes. Shane Bolton did get a bang on the head, so he was taken off straight away.
Yeah, disappointed, and so was Jared Butler. Connacht have to take this restart. 2 tries scored, 10-0 they lead. The carry from Dylan Tierney-Martin, he's driven back in contact.
Yeah, he was met by a bit of a wall. Sale have been like that all through the game, except for the last few minutes of the half, where Connacht maybe just found a little bit more space. And I'd say Sale are trying to get back to that wall defence. It's pretty impressive. Very hard working.
Line out for Sale is midway between that 10-metre line and 22. And it's a chance for them to get going, but they've had plenty of platforms in this game and have not been able to get put anything coherent together really when it mattered in terms of scoring. Yet to get on the score sheet, of course. That pass is flat. Just okay, I would say. Doherty has been one of their more effective players. The back line. Connacht leg comes spinning around there, knocks that ball. Could have been deemed an infringement. It is Sale's ball though, but they're going backwards. Doing well to secure that. Possibly doing a little bit better at the breakdown than Connacht, just slightly, William.
Yeah, they've they're a big physical side. Gavin Thornbury heavily involved there for Connacht, just slowed it down enough.
Nice idea to do the chip, and did he manage to regain that? No, Connacht have come up with it. It didn't really work out anyways. Conor Oliver was the man who tidied that up. Kieran Marmion looking strong there. Took a big tackle from Postlethwaite. Go back for the knock-on against Sales. Outside centre, Sam James.
Connacht again just getting in the face, working hard. They're not doing an awful lot. It's interesting, Josh Murphy there, very, very impressive attempt to win that line-out. He looks a bit of a line-out operator, both in stealing and winning his own ball. It's a big option now to have him and Gavin Thornbury. Referee's giving a long lecture to the Connacht front row there.
Jack Ainger getting the brunt of it.
Yep, looks a bit. That's interesting because Connacht won a scrum penalty at the last scrum, so I don't know what he's upset about.
Might be something from open play. You wouldn't know.
It looked as if it was a bit of a scrum one. This is taking a long time. There's a player tying his bootlace. I was wondering, and he's the hooker, so we can't go anywhere without the Sale hooker.
Sale have seen another platform go a-begging in the Connacht half, if you like, not outside the 22 this time, but it's a scrum to Connacht. Marmion's looking sharp in this early season opportunity. Caelan Blade got the opportunity and cast. Connacht, just whatever way the schedule worked and planning and opportunities, ended up having to play Cast on Wednesday and playing a second pre-season friendly in the same week. But they've spread their squad and they're all together again here in Athlone today, having flown back in yesterday.
Yeah, it looks a little bit of a mess. Yeah, of course, Sale have been here all week.
More
Again,
stuff
it's
going
just
on.
getting a bit, tempers, a few things being said there.
Ross Harrison on that side, Danger on this side, but
There's nothing wrong with that. I know it's a pre-season game, but players are just, they're competitive. And Sale are frustrated. There's nothing really to that. Yeah, Sale have been in the west of Ireland. They've had a great time. Been training, probably doing a little bit of team bonding and sightseeing as well.
it's hard not to have a great time in Galway, William, it has to be said.
Yeah, you'd want to be a little bit boring yourself if you couldn't knock something out of Galway, especially in a week where it wasn't roasting hot, but it was a magnificent, some really decent weather, particularly in the afternoons. I think they may well have been swimming in the sea, I hear, as well, off Black Rock, which is a good place. Connacht do that fairly regularly. But at the moment, they're going to be concentrating on this game. The second half hasn't started well for them.
Yeah, they base themselves in Galway, but of course the game here is in Athlone while the sports ground pitch continues to be developed in time for the first home game in October. Good crowd here in Athlone. Connacht scrum going backwards, ball scoops out, and somehow Marmion with one hand scoops that pass back to Conor Fitzgerald. That was a superb piece of skill. Outrageous stuff. They had no right to still have possession here.
No, that's a recovery of recoveries. That usually doesn't happen. They were splintered, but they still have possession.
But here we go again, where Connacht are going through two phases and they're just meeting a wall, and the tackling has been superb, and that's heartbreaking for Sale because they made the good tackle. Marmion takes the quick tap. Sale weren't back 10, but no sign that that's been signalled. Out they go with the hands. John Porch, there's numbers, but he just couldn't get the offload away. It was good work from Sale defensively, and now they're over the top of the ball. That's brilliant from Sale.
Yeah, that's
because Connacht had a four-man overlap there, couldn't get it out.
That's high class. Conor Oliver was a bit slow coming in for the clear out. Delayed by half a second. That was the difference.
But it was superb from Dan Dupree's, first of all. Just the tackle just stunted the whole attack, and then obviously Byron McGuigan came in and got the penalty. Super from Sale. Maybe that might turn the momentum their way. 10-0 to Connacht. Early stages of the second half. 2 tries in the first half.
And once again, they're back in the Connacht 22, where they seem to have spent large chunks of this game. Can they ask some different questions?
Pete Wilkins takes over responsibility for defence this year. He'll be very happy, I'm sure, with the first half performance from his team.
I'll be very happy with the work rate, I think. But as you know, they always say it's about attitude, defence.
Ben Curry gets it out. This is a good move from Sale. Connacht have to make their tackles, and they do. But there's a second phase here. Big hits going in. Spinning through the contact. McGuigan ended up on the far side there. Simpson. Not much in terms of numbers, but maybe they feel like they can just...
Well, they're just trying to bully over. They're not really looking to ask any questions out wide. Forwards maybe a little bit tired of having possession with no...
Now it's out, and they're
nothing
going.
coming.
Simpson, Curry, Ben Curry. Held up well, Paul Boyle doing the stopping. Another attack though. Ross Harrison. Farrell needs to get himself out of there. He does. That ball scoops up to Simpson. Didn't work out, goes off the head. It all fell apart. And now Connacht can counter-attack. Tiernan O'Halloran just had to hesitate for a second, so then he put boot to ball. Looks like the right decision. Gets a lot of distance on that, a lot of pressure on Sale. They're coming back trying to work something. Connacht over pursue in terms of Shane Jennings and Tiernan O'Halloran, and now the counter-attack is on. No one knew between the two players. They both misread that. I think Tiernan is limping.
Yeah, that's maybe why he didn't go, because he had space in front of him there, acres of it, and you might have been happier to see him running.
Oh, that's not what you want to see. Josh Murphy has a bit of a problem there after having a great first half.
Yeah,
he's limping.
He's limping. He'll have to be pulled.
Conor Fitzgerald. Not sure it looked like he was going to catch that, but he did. Bit of an atmosphere building.
Yeah, it's getting the crowd moving a bit there. Sale absolutely made such a mess of that, to finish up with a player having the ball passed onto his head. They don't look confident in attack at all. And Connacht.
Marmion kick downfield. Knocked on by a Sale team making tons of mistakes now. First half try scorers. Conor Oliver carries it into contact. Sale have robbed a referee. He's going to go back for a knock-on.
Yeah, he was off his feet as well there, the Sale player coming in. They must be completely frustrated with themselves.
Lots of problems, but Josh Murphy on his first game for Connacht has been superb, and this will be a big worry for Andy Friend and co, because he's just a little niggle there that he's been limping. He's walking now, so we'll see how he is. Yeah. Tiernan O'Halloran also getting seen. Yeah,
Tiernan, I think he must have had that because there was so much space in front of him. But he kicked, and it was a clever enough kick, and then Connacht overcommitted. Although he got up to make the tackle, but he certainly is limping a bit. A couple of Sale players, one player down with what looks like cramp. Again, early season. You can train and train as much as you want and do your gym and get put through the mill by Johnny O'Connor and his team. But it's when you get out on the field, that's what these players are looking for. They've had 6 or 7 weeks of pretty hard training, so they want to get playing. But you will pick up small niggles at this time.
I had the experience doing pre-season training with Johnny O'Connor and his team in NUIG way back.
I'm surprised you're still alive, Rob.
I tell you, let's just say I didn't make the panel. Let's just say, put it that way.
Well, I'll tell you something about Johnny. He said this to me, and he said for the first 3 weeks they're just mine.
Well, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, and it's not about rugby balls or fancy Dan moves. It's about sheer physical hell, apparently.
Some of our younger viewers will be thinking about back to school and how tough that is. Imagine if you're a rugby player coming back to that.
Yeah, and no prisoners taken, and of course also Michael Kiley is in, new head of athletic performance, a man who very successful with Limerick hurlers and then with a year with Ulster. He's had them doing different things as well. It isn't just about turning up and pulling on a jersey. It's a long process to get ready. And the pre-season is so key because once the season starts, it's game after game after game. It's, you know, the Connacht have 7 games in a row when they start against Ulster. Then they get a break. But you've got to get the work done now. Players tell you that.
Scrum to Connacht. Marmion gets it in, not being forced to do it any earlier than he wanted to. Tom Farrell with a good carry, and this is a platform. Just didn't work out where Porch was meant to be, and then he stood up and he got the ball, but he's been driven back into contact. If there's one thing Sale have done to top notch, it's been the after leg drive in the tackle. It's just impressive.
Their driving and their work in the tackle is amazing. But
Connacht needs someone to come in at scrum half, and they're very fortunate to still have the ball. I think there, Josh O'Connor is dragged in, which he can't do. Own crosses, let that one go.
Okay.
Didn't disrupt Connacht too much again. It just be interesting as Connacht look back at the video to see how little gains they're making in those
they're not getting
short bursts.
They're not getting any gain around the area, so now you've got to get a kick.
There's a crossfield kick. Porch tries to go for it. It's all a bit scrappy. Sale have come up with it.
Little lovely inside one-handed pass by Sale. It's hard slog at the minute. Not much happening. A little bit of stalemate.
Birch with the kick downfield. Underneath it is Conor Fitzgerald. Oh, he's driven back heavily. Conor Doherty made an absolute beeline for the Connacht out half. Connacht ball just outside their 22. They lead 10-0. Not much there either. Sale turning up the ante here. A few changes in that front row, and they really want a little bit more out of this game. Connacht are fortunate to still have possession here, and they have to just get a good clearance kick from Fitzgerald. His left boot takes play well downfield. James almost sent that forward. May well have. Fitzgerald wisely marks it.
I'm not sure with that kick, was he trying to keep it off on the field or off the field? It was a bit of a nothing kick in the end, but Sale didn't maybe make the most use of it.
Well, Fitzgerald has taken his time. There's some treatment on the far side of the field for the Connacht players. And we are ready to go again almost. I think that might be Josh O'Connor. Try scoring the first half. He's getting the treatment and he's okay.
He's up and ready to go again. Josh Murphy's still on. He is. So he's run that off. That's interesting. tightened for a second and then seems fine again. So
yes, good news on that. I meant to say that to you when he got the treatment. And he seems fine, which is a relief. You want to see a man like him there. Oh, brilliant from Murphy. Got a hand on it. And Tierney Martin was alive to it. And then out the back door to Oisin McCormick. Skill level has just gone up a notch. Good from Connacht. Can they move it on? Farrell dancing through tackles.
Well done.
Has done so for the game. Tries a little kick. I don't think he liked the look of it from the second it went off his boot. I think he went straight into touch. It has.
Okay.
It's a shame because he did so well.
He did really well, but the kick was nothing really happened. Well done by Tierney Martin. Quietly, he's having a very good game. He's hitting his lineouts. He's good in the loose, and he was alert to that at the back. That O'Connor just got a hand and he deflected it, and Tierney Martin was in. He's carrying on from where he was at the end of last season.
Line out to Sale. And their line out is functioning a bit better there as well. Get them all on. Tommy Taylor and Simon McIntyre are on here. Sorry, no, correction, myself here. Simon McIntyre and Coney Oosterhuizen are supposedly the two on. Keep an eye on that for Sale.
It's very slow ball from Sale. They're not putting any pace on it at all.
War.
Yeah, that's
got the ball out. Sale went into contact and Connacht got over the ball.
Yeah, it's when you're doing it that slowly, you're telegraphing what you're going to do. There's nobody really taking responsibility there for them. Connacht just working hard, staying at the line. But you feel Connacht need to turn one of these opportunities now and they get a bit of decent field position. Another score would be very handy for them. Really good crowd in here. It's an impressive crowd. This stand is full. Stand across from us is, that you can see on the screen there, is pretty full, and then people gathered at both ends, which is nice to see. No, that was a clever kick. He absolutely got as much distance out of that as he could. He's got to within 15 metres of the Sale line, and this is when Connacht need their line out to function really smoothly. Tierney Martin, he's shown Murphy. Murphy's absolutely back on it. Tierney Martin has it at the back there. He's
good opportunity.
Looking around. It's a poor pass out, but it's just picked up. Laboured Tom Farrell in midfield. This Sale defence is immense. It's 2-3 men at a time, but Connacht just need to be patient here. Marmin has it at the back.
Yeah, doing Tierney Martin. It's great to still have possession, even though it's not gone forward, but Connacht retain it. I think Boyle got a caught in that tackle there, and it's gone wrong. Good carries from Sale. They're trying to make something happen.
Connacht kind of ran out of ideas there. It's very hard when you're making nothing on any play just because Sale's defence, but it's happening at a speed that is allowing Sale to play like that. You've really got to move it up. Tiernan O'Halloran busily organising the backfield here. He's got two very inexperienced, well, he's got John Porch, but he has an inexperienced player back there.
Porch. That looked dangerous as Porch got a clearance kick, but it was a dive on his foot as he cleared it. No infringement, says the referee. Everyone's okay. Connacht still have it. Tiernan O'Halloran is going to belt it back, so get a bit of open rugby now in kicking tennis. As for Ward to come back, he's going to launch a Gary Owen, and underneath it. Well, I thought it was going to be Fitzgerald, but sweeping back and saving the day is the big man in the Connacht centre, Tom Farrell. He's having a good game.
Great call by Farrell. He took responsibility for that because it was a clever enough kick. It was a Gary Owen that went across field, but Farrell called immediately.
Game is breaking up a bit. Hand in at the breakdown. Silly mistake. Oh, Postlethwaite's in trouble. Yellow card for a blatant piece of infringement. You were calling him as well, guy who was having a good game in the first half, but that is not a good one.
That was that's very silly, and he knows it. But he was getting very frustrated at the end of the first half as well, and that's just frustration. He's a big man. He's wandering off. I suspect he'll be pulled now because you don't want to have a player coming on in this type of game maybe who's got a bit cold. It has chilled off here. But once again, Sale sort of their own destruction through their own hand.
Still a tight game, scoreboard-wise. 3 changes for Connacht. Darren Murray's on, Jordan Duncan's on, Sam Elo's on, Ainger's off, Josh Murphy is off, but he got through that knock anyway, so hopefully he's okay. And Peter Dooley on his debut. 2 debuts there.
Absolutely, they've done well. I have to say, Murray has an impressive head of hair. It will be very easy to spot this young man. I hope he doesn't get stuck into wearing one of these scrum caps that are all the same colour. But we've heard great things about him. He, last year, didn't get to go to the Six Nations because he was injured. But he's here and ready to go. That's the under 20 Six Nations.
Yeah, there he is. Good opportunity, plenty of time for him to shine here. The stadium clock reads 59 minutes, but with the stoppages so far, I'd say we're closer to 25, 26 minutes at least of rugby for these lads. Connacht lead 10-0, as you can see. Tries in the first half from Conor Oliver and Josh O'Connor, the right winger who replaced Shane Bolton in that first half. The throw to Darren Murray, brother of Niall, who started in Cast on Wednesday for that Connacht squad that went over there. And only a few miles down the road is his hometown. The Roscommon native gets the ball back to the back of that line out. Dylan Tierney-Martin has it there. And in very short order, Colm Riley is going to take this out. Out it comes. Connacht made the changes and they can get something going here. That got a hand on it. Was it a Sale hand? Connacht want a deliberate knock on. I think they're due one. Josh O'Connor's carrying it. No call from the referee. Connacht trying to drive in and clear this out. Sale have come through on the ball and they've got away with one there, I think.
Yep, they have, because that was...
Had to be a deliberate knock on. Now Sale are counter-attacking and Connacht are in trouble. Connacht are scampering back into their own half of the field. Oisin McCormack does superbly well.
Great work.
Player was on top of him. Fraction of a second early, I felt there, but anyways. Out it comes, Darren Murray with the carry. That was looking like a huge opportunity for a third try, William, and now Connacht are back inside their own 22.
Yeah, got to defend again, but I think that was missed by the officials, really.
Yeah. It will happen. It's pre-season.
Yeah, I don't think you can have a situation where a player goes in one-handed there, but...
yeah, ball was going across. The reason why it didn't come to hand is Sale got a hand in, which was a knock-on at the very least, and quite logically a deliberate knock-on. But anyways, Sale down to 14 men. Let's remember that for the next 10 minutes. Postlethwaite is in the bin. And it's nice to see some of the Connacht players who've just come on involved in that last attack. Murray and Colm Riley as well. Great chance for him. He's had a bit of injury disruption to his career after a good start for Connacht.
Yeah, and it was a lovely pass that he got away that actually set that move off. Sale taking forever on the line-out because they're trying to run down the 10-minute clock.
They trail 10-0, but they'll have plenty of time to score after it's done. That was a beautiful one-handed take.
That's a George Nyupu special, if you remember him back in the day for Connacht. Yes, indeed.
His wife, Sene Nyupu, retiring from international rugby a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Tremendous career as well.
Connacht have really been driven off a bit there, but...
Oh, good rob in the tackle. Didn't catch who that was, but that was good from Connacht. Beg your pardon, folks. Riley gets it out. Oliver. Not a chance to scoop that pass wide, so Fitzgerald comes back against the grain. He's tackled by Vista, the man who did that one-handed take a few seconds ago. McCormack, the belt he's taken there is huge, and he's done very well. Good change of direction from Boyle. There could have been a pass on there from Farrell, but he just went into contact that time. Maybe the wrong decision. He has made the right decision on multiple occasions. Could still be on. Fitzgerald whips the ball out, and Connacht have a chance to attack here. Porch needs some support. Has he got it? Good clear out from O'Connor and a comrade in there with him. Connacht get another brilliant clear out from Darren Murray there, and they're on the front foot. Oliver changes direction. Farrell. How are they getting these offloads? McCormack. It's good from Connacht. Game's really breaking up a bit now.
It is, and that's good handling. That's really good handling by Connacht. Brilliant work by Farrell. He had to catch that ball virtually behind his back.
There's a bit more risk to it now. There's a bit more kind of adventure.
Yeah, there's a bit of adventure. And there's, you know, Colm Riley's come on. He's put a couple of really good passes in. It's the sort of game maybe when you come off the bench, you think, I've got to play it a bit faster. When you're on the field and you've started, you get sucked into the pace of the game. Whereas when you come off, you have an opportunity and you think, well, I'm going to go out there and play a little bit quicker.
Injury delay here. Didn't look to be much, but now it looks a little bit more serious, so we will take our time with that. 17 minutes left on the stadium clock.
That's at least 20, I would think. And
forgive us, folks, we don't have access to the referee timing system.
And you will also have, although Connacht did their substitutions fairly quickly there, but if you're sending on single subs, that slows it down as well.
See Connacht's manager Tim All not there having a laugh, chatting up to the guys up in the gantry alongside us, the Connacht management team, as they pass messages back and forth.
Martin Joyce, the kit man, he's always there. He knows what's going on. That's a good kick. It's a nice kick. His kicking's got better from hand as the game has gone on, Conor Fitzgerald, and he's getting a bit more confidence to look for the distance. He's got that 10 metres, 7 metres inside the 22.
We didn't catch some of the changes that were happening there because O'Halloran went off, and we didn't know to our followers that Marmion is on the wing now.
Well, he's played for Ireland on the wing.
Yes, so indeed. Why not?
Why not?
The All Blacks, isn't it? Connacht are driving
the All Blacks or Italy, I can't remember, but he certainly's had a go on the wing. That's a good driving maul.
Dylan Tierney-Martin now just been told by Colin Riley to go and break off the side of that one. Jordan Duggan's going to try and take this on. This could be a third try opportunity for Connacht. Well, it's certainly an opportunity. Can they get it? The pick and goes are good. Oh, chance for Boyle. Oh, how is he not over? That was so close. Sail creaking, but
so
hanging
trying to
in
put
there.
their ball on the hand, but no, our hand on the ball.
Connacht now are almost over. They feel like they got a touchdown. No TMO here, so you need to get the ball out. Fitzgerald, well, that was well read, but it could set things up again. They need to align themselves. The Sale's defence in this fringe area of the breakdown has been superb throughout the game, even when things haven't been going well for them elsewhere. Connacht looking for the third try, leading 10-0. Extra bit of support coming through there. Sam Elo's ready if needed. Gavin Thornbury's helping with the extra push. An advantage coming Connacht's way, so they could try a free play here, or will they just go for the fringes still? I think Riley has decided to do that. Still held up. Ball comes loose. It went backwards, so they can still play through that advantage. Now it's on. Good pass out. Kieran Marmion on the left wing. Forward pass, no try, back for the penalty. No TMO there, but Owen Cross had a perfect view of it.
Yeah, it did look a little bit forward. Kieran Marmion looks disappointed. He's limping a little bit as well.
I was about to go full hog on that commentary there. There you go, he's on the wing, he scored a try. I'm glad I held back because there was something wrong with it.
Yeah, it's sort of the fact that he had to run to catch it was kind of, didn't look too good. Connacht are going to do a running drive here. Tierney Martin goes, he's driven back.
Interesting, not interesting going for the line out. Oh, that's a pass that was hard to take, but they've been nearly driven over. Jordan Duggan. He didn't score there. Sam Elo. This is great defence from Sale.
Yeah.
Kind of going to try and go over the top there that way. Did he get a touchdown? Owen Cross isn't sure. If he's held up, it's a goal line dropout. Riley went for it. Who knows? Maybe he scored, but it doesn't matter because once it's not seen by the referee.
I think the big issue there was they didn't do much on the free play. They should have tried something a little bit more on the free play, and you gotta hand it to Sale. I mean, look, it's a Friday night in Athlone. It's a pre-season game, but they are working incredibly hard in defence. Connacht maybe didn't quite ask them enough questions there, but they're playing the game in the right part of the field. 13 minutes on the stadium clock. We think it's a little bit more than that. Tierney Martin coming off. He's had a good game. I think he's done really well tonight. He stepped up. Paul Boyle, quietly effective at number 8. Looks as if he's muscled up a little bit during the summer. Yeah, working in the gym. He's a big man anyway, but I think that was pretty good.
Some good moments. When the butler is on for Dylan Tierney Martin. Kick downfield. The goal line dropout to be precise. Fitzgerald, little show and go. He's been lively. Out the back door to De Butler. McGaughy gets a big smash to start his afternoon or evening, to be more precise. Carry from
Sam Elo, good bit of
stuff from Elo, yeah,
good bit of leg drive.
Riley got an extra bump there as he went to ground, but He's alive and popped up, no bother to him. Good tackling from Sale again. The players have come on, they've all brought that energy and strength. And at a 10-0 game, it's still on for them, even though they've wasted so many chances. It could all turn on one score. But Connacht seem to be the team in the ascendancy for the moment. Duggan with the carry, clean out's good. Riley goes that way again. Not sure there's much out there to work with. Oliver, first half try scorer, just gets the offload. Here comes Riley again. Cormac, guys in on the shoulder to clean out. The Butler, lovely spin and a offload, but Connacht have dropped the ball in contact. That is a knock on, and now they need to be alert in defence.
Yeah, John Porch there caught.
He made up for it by slowing the man down, and then a big hit came in from Sam Elo. So Connacht now have to defend a bit, leading 10-0, but this game is going to go a little bit more to the edge than we might have expected. That said, they've got a turnover, and Fitzgerald gets it off to McCormick to tidy it up. Donncha Byrne also on. The Sligonian
overlap.
Has come on for Boyle. Tom Farrell has thrown a poor pass, but Sale are offside. So we'll get the penalty for Connacht. So just to confirm, Byrne is on. No number on his back if you spot him out there with the white headband on. He's replaced Paul Boyle. Player we like the look of. The few times we covered Eagles games and pre-season games, he definitely has a lot of power and a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's important for these guys. This is their few minutes, you know, to strike a case. That's slightly disappointing from Tom Farrell there because there was an overlap, but it was a floaty pass. But again, you wonder the Sale defence probably would have got across.
Awful lot of this game is going through Tom Farrell from a Connacht perspective.
Yeah,
he really is, especially since he slotted in to the inside centre position once Bolton went up.
Yeah, and I think he's helped Conor Fitzgerald a bit as well by always being available.
Fitzgerald, I don't think that's exactly how he wanted to strike that, because that came within 2 inches of going dead in goal, but instead it's a 5 metre line out for Connacht.
Yeah, well, this is an opportunity to put the game away, I would think.
Yeah, 10 minutes plus change, I'd say. So we've got a bit to play, but yeah, 3 scores. You can't see Sale scoring 3 times, but you could see them getting a bit of life if they got 1 score. Here's the throw for De Butler. Big moment for him. It's a shame for him because he's got his job done. Dara Murray was there. The referee wasn't happy with the setting, so this is a nice test of De Butler's composure.
Yeah, do they go on the same call?
I wonder. They do, and
it
works. Dara Murray. Good work from the two of them.
Nice quick throw in as well. Didn't waste any time.
Yeah.
Got the ball, threw it in, which is the way to do it if you're starting off.
Oh, this could be some statement if they can maul this Sale team. They're now going towards the line. Connacht, they've broken off. It should be a try. It is a try. Well, they'll enjoy that, the forwards. And De Butler, the Butler, marking his arrival into the contest with a try that we feel should seal the deal, but you never know. Rugby's a funny old game. There's plenty of time for Sale as they bring on 3 changes.
Yeah, you would think it would be their opportunity to close it down. Fitzgerald would like to get the kick over as well, because his kicking tonight has been a little bit off with the 2 conversions, so he'd like to get the extra one in. Just coming up to 71 minutes for that try. Fitzgerald, it's tough enough conversion for him, but there's no wind, so we'll see if he can hit the target and get it done.
Yeah, well, certainly right hand side of the field for the left footer is probably slightly better. Postlethwaite's back, by the way. Sinbin's over.
Okay.
Connacht have got to 7 points.
Well, maybe that's a case of...
Don't think Fitzgerald likes that one. No,
none of the kicks have gone well from... Yeah, Postlethwaite might have suffered a bit there. The coaches might have thought, listen, silly yellow card, out you go and play the end of the game.
Yeah, because he's back on, specifically. So the Sinbin isn't just over, he is back on. Dan DePriest is off, Ben Curry is off. They're 2 key players for Sale in this contest, but they just haven't got what they wanted from it. So Sale have made a lot of changes and will hope for a big finish. But Connacht lead by that 3 score barrier now, 15 points to 0. Big score. 3 tries on the board. And the pre-season friendly, you wondered, Connacht have had their moments in pre-season, but on many occasions they've found sides like this, London Irish last year for example, just a bit too much to handle really. So it'll be a big statement, William, if Connacht can get a victory out of an English Premiership side at this time of year.
Yeah, I think they'll take a lot out of it. I'm not sure Sale will take very much out of it at all.
There's some sort of spectacular finish that goes against the grain. Kick downfield from Riley has asked Sale now to come back at them. Conor Oliver and Dara Murray have met Postlethwaite there and said, you go no further.
They've stopped and dropped them.
Little chip over the top. That
Clever.
could work. It's knocked on.
It's knocked on by Connacht. Yeah.
I think Connacht have the advantage for the first knock on, I'd imagine. But anyways, it's still Connacht ball. Dara Murray isn't going to he's waiting for someone to come, and he's going to have to do it himself. And he does. And Duggan then gets smashed back. Blow from the whistle, and we're going to go back for the advantage of the knock-on. Might have been communicated to the referee from the touch judge, I'd imagine, or the assistant referee. Will I ever learn?
Yeah, it could have been, but I think he had called that. He's let the I suppose in a game like this it's easier maybe to try to keep it flowing and just let play go, but
yes.
There was 2 knock-ons there. Sale knocked it on, then Connacht knocked it on. Connacht will be happy enough for this. This runs the clock for them, gives it the new front row an opportunity as well to see how they get on. It's a good start by the Butler, I have to say.
Roughly, William, Connacht are going to be up on what, 44, somewhere between 40 and 45 players used by the end of this, maybe more.
Yeah, they've used a lot of players. Bearing in mind there's no internationals available, and there are a couple of players carrying a few knocks. So
that's a good steady scrum as well at this stage. Byrne just about got it away. Riley is being spun around, and now he's been caught for holding on. So that didn't go well considering the scrum was good. So Sale have a platform and a chance to do something late in this game. There's enough time for them if they score quickly. Let's see if they can do that. Yeah,
if they get 7 points on the board, they could, but they are still a few scores away. That's an under kick. That really is, it's a poor kick. That's only gone 7, 8 metres into the 22. They would have wanted to be closer than that. And see if they can get it. I'm assuming they're going to go with a drive-in maul. They haven't really brought their backs into play very much. There hasn't been much linkage.
Sale have the line out. Now they have the maul. We've said this before in this game a few times. They're yet to score. But at this stage of the game, surely it's broken enough for them to really make a count. And that's a really good start to maul. Connacht have somehow got to stop, but they've done so illegally. Penalty coming Sale's way. Oliver is coming through on that.
I think Owen de Butler changed position there. I think that's what the referee's done him for, I think.
So Sale have a free play. Back to the full complement of 15 men as well, I'll remind you.
There isn't much urgency from them.
Comes out. Conor Doherty slips. He's had a good game overall. Well, I don't want to overstate it because not enough has gone right for them. Driven back again. Connacht are making their tackles. There's a penalty advantage, of course. McIntyre comes in. Out it comes. War. James. Fullback. Luke James. Love to get on the score sheet. Another really good shop tackle going in there. It's impressive stuff from Connacht defensively. It's impressive stuff from the man who scored the try, Owen de Butler. Nice reverse pass, but Connacht have driven them back again, and we'll go back for the advantage. That's a superb.
That's great defensive work by Connacht. They don't want to let Sale in, give them nothing. They'll be much happier with a nil. There's a Sale player down there, looks in a little bit of bother. But they're very ponderous, Sale. They're not, they're not backing themselves to move that ball at speed.
No, Flaherty had a good line there, but he was just driven straight back.
Well, it's standing still ball. There's a few players, their hands on their heads. There's a few. Oh, they're bringing out a stretcher. That doesn't look too good. I hope he's okay. I hope that's just precautionary.
You don't want to see that in pre-season. This is the opportunity for players to just get loose and get going, and late in the game, it's disappointing. Tom Curtis is wearing 26. His father, John Curtis, was a professional footballer, played for the likes of QPR, Nottingham Forest and Manchester United.
That's pretty impressive. Might have been playing back in the days when QPR were a really good side.
They're able to pick him up anyway, so he might need the stretcher, but...
Well, they could bring they've got the buggy on, but they should bring the buggy down and let him get on the buggy so he doesn't have to walk. Poor fella. That looks like a bit of a nasty lower leg injury. Is that Postlethwaite?
No, it's not. I was checking that myself. I was hoping it wasn't, considering the...
Yeah, he's had a...
But you don't want it to be happening to any player, so it's just disappointing. I wish him the best. Curtis, who I've mentioned, has the ball in his hands, and Sale will go to the corner. I mean, leaving everything else aside and some sort of miraculous 3-try turnaround here, or even 3-score turnaround, Sale need to get off the score sheet in the pre-season friendly, otherwise they'll be kicking themselves a lot more.
And of course Connacht will be determined not to let them on.
Well, this is a big opportunity now.
Yeah, this is if they
They've got the first part right. High throw, well taken. Sale Sharks here in that loan after their weekend in Galway, looking to at least get a try on the board and maybe a bit of time for them to go for a further score. Yes, they have. It looks like the whistle's gone anyways. There's a bit of afters going on. Jordan Duggan's in there.
It's been a little niggly all through. I remember watching a pre-season game of the Sports Ground many moons ago when London Welsh came. I was without doubt one of the nastiest games of rugby I've ever seen. They came with a mission which seemed to be to get stuck in. There's none of this happening tonight. It's just a little bit of annoyance. Players getting in each other's way and referees just saying, calm it down, lads, which is the right approach.
Apologies to our Sale subscribers. But we've missed who scored. And I think it's Tommy Taylor who scored. So we haven't missed it. We found out now. Tommy Taylor got over. Makes sense. Usually the hooker is going to be at the possession at the back of that maul. Whatever the little afters were, it didn't lead to any more than a stern talking to. 15-5. A few minutes left. Conversion could be important. Let's see.
Yeah, he was certainly very close to the touchline. So this kick really does have to go over, you would feel. And they need to get possession straight away and get down the field because the clock is now 79 minutes. There's probably a few minutes more to go. Kick is on its way. And it's not there. So no kicks over tonight by either side.
15-5. 3 tries to 1. Tommy Taylor hits back. Connacht tries from Conor Oliver and Josh O'Connor in the first half and Owen the Butler in the second half. So 2 of the Academy guys getting on the score sheet, and Connacht looking for a big finish here. Looking for a solid, structured finish, I guess, actually, for being honest.
I'd say that's what the coaches are looking for, but the fans here might like to see them throwing the ball around and a bit of backdoor passing and stuff, but I think they'll want to get this as a good, solid finish.
And it'll be a good week's work, really. And it'll be back to pre-season battles. You reckon there might be a few in-house games anyways? Well, there'll have to be, because they're you want to get the game speed up.
Yeah, you think that will be the case. And
here go Sale.
And they'll start looking hard at Ulster.
Whatever about Connacht, Sale are going to throw caution to the wind right now anyways, because they have to. And if they could score another try, which you could definitely see them capable of doing in a broken game later on, it'll get a bit interesting. Good tackles going in. Connacht rolling away just about. No, they're not rolling away fast enough. So Sale are going to get a platform here, as well, to just take that penalty as quickly as possible.
I think that was semi-called from the assistant referee.
And they were right to. The roll away was far too slow.
It was slow. Players are tired now. They're inaccurate. But Sale really
still working hard.
They're not going anywhere. But that's the thing. You would think maybe take the penalty and try to move yourself 40 metres.
Absolutely, if you had the game hat on. But I suppose it is just about keeping the momentum going. On we go. 2 scores needed for Sale. Connacht happy enough if they're just playing the ball around here, because that'll just eat into the clock. They'd love to get this victory on the board. They lead by 10, but Sale with O'Flaherty are bursting free. He's showing a little glimpse of his speed. Referee feels now that they're not going anywhere, so maybe holding on the ground was his call there, so he had to go back for the original penalty. Tap and go or kick to the corner. Surely this time to kick to corner, obviously, under any set of laws. You have your chance to take the line out. And they do that.
He does like a very long advantage.
Yes, indeed. Which actually doesn't favour the attacking team in this case later on in the game. You wonder, should referees realise that, but it's not really for him to decide.
Yeah, it's not worked that way, but it is something that World Rugby maybe at some stage. I have heard about this advantage.
In terms of a
timing clock that starts running, and the play on the field, there's no. And eventually, if you just want to take the penalty, just drop the ball.
And you don't see that as much. I remember guys like George Gregan or Peter Stringer used to be great at that. Yeah. You don't see it as much now.
Intentional grounding, as they call it in the NFL.
Yes, indeed. Sale now going to try and maul towards the 22. Connacht in from the side. A few technical penalties are just adding. That'll allow Sale to set up another platform, and I think we're back in the same position here again, where Sale we'll see. But they're going forward so fast here. They keep it going. Connacht bring it to ground now, so it's a second penalty. All very scrappy late on here.
Yeah, we are past the 80 minutes, we think, but
we don't know how much to add on. There's the good carry. Connacht make their tackles.
Marmion, the winger, making a very good tackle.
He has not stopped working, Marmion, tonight. Connacht have pushed up a little bit too anxiously there.
They've still got the tackle made, but they are wrong line by Sale. Didn't really.
Oh, that cannot be legal. Penalty against the Sale player. That was quite reckless at the breakdown, to be honest. Reckless in the sense that it doesn't make any sense how he went in there, but nothing more than a penalty.
Yeah, I think if I was the ref, I would now think.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, let's just blow the whistle.
And
here
that is
and
it. Final whistle. Conor Fitzgerald kicks to touch, and Connacht have won by 15 points to 5. And you can see by the body language of the players on the pitch, it's a big moment for them in pre-season. You talked about it when Johnny O'Connor saw them coming back in July, that it was a tough start. They put in a lot of work, probably over the guts of 8 or 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's the sort of performance you want. You want your subs to come on and get up to the speed of the game. Connacht were confronted by a big, strong physical side who didn't really ask them an awful lot of questions, and they created a few scoring chances and they took 3 of them. And I think they'll be pleased enough for that. There's plenty to work on, but I think a couple of players stood out for me for Connacht there. I thought Josh O'Connor had a huge game. I thought he was really, really impressive. I thought Gavin Thornbury looked back to his best. I mean, he came back last season. Sorry, it's not Josh O'Connor, it's Josh Murphy. Peter Dooley, Dylan Tierney-Martin. I'm nearly going through the whole team. And Kieran Marmion, pretty good. Conor Fitzgerald got better as the game went on. Tom Farrell seemed to be everywhere, created a little bit of space. Yeah, that's a good, hard, solid workout against a big old English Premiership side. Many more games to come which will be harder than that, but overall that was a good workout by Connacht. They dealt with Sale pretty competently. They stuck to their game plan, and at times when they got the ball moving they were pretty impressive.
Yeah, and look, first half try from Conor Oliver set the tone. Good mauling try, or good mauling in the lead up to the scores, a number of the scores, because if you look at the late first half try from Josh O'Connor, it was a great line out drive and break off the side of it from Dylan Tierney-Martin. Some good carries in the lead up to that as well. In between that, Sale had lost the possession, lost the territory, themselves to blame for half of it. Connacht's superb defence for the other half. 10-0 at half time, and then that second half try from De Butler while the sin bin was ongoing for Postlethwaite probably sealed the deal. But you know, there was lots to pick from Connacht. The late consolation try for Sale, but I get the feeling overall Connacht were the side that deserved to win this by 10 points.
Oh yeah, they did because they took their opportunities. I was surprised how inaccurate Sale were at times, but that might have been just Connacht's defence was very solid. So was Sale's, you have to say. That was hard working defence from them. They've had their week in the west of Ireland. They've got their season is coming round, but I think they will feel they'll go away from this with a lot of questions to ask of themselves, which I'm sure they will. They'll be disappointed with their accuracy at times and just some of the mistakes. Connacht getting ready 3 weeks tonight. It'll be a different story in Ravenhill. That's where the real stuff starts. I mean, it's a tough start and into pro for both sides. It's not just Connacht. I mean, Ulster are probably thinking, oh, hold on a second, we're not used to this.
And then they're on a plane to South Africa.
They're on a plane to South Africa to play the champions in Cape Town, and then to play the runners-up, the Bulls, and it's the Stormers in Cape Town, the Bulls in Pretoria. That's tough. Then they're just back to play Munster in Galway, and Leinster, and the Scarlets. And then they got to go to the Ospreys. That is a tough 7-week start. You need a game like this to get yourself up, because those 7 weeks, it's over a third of your season, and they need to hit the ground running. They're well aware of it. They're ready for the challenge, but those are tough sides. And to play 3 interpros in the first 5 games is, well, it's a little odd. I think it's just the way the season has worked out. But it's a big ask, and you know you got to get ready for it. Doesn't seem to have been too many injuries this evening. I hope the Jared Butler, and I hope
Shane Bolton
as well were precautionary come-offs.
You never know, though. You find out afterwards, little knocks come up, but fingers crossed. So that's it from us. Thanks to all of you who've signed up for season ticket this season. You've enjoyed this as a bonus today, and for everyone else, those games are coming up. Sports Ground will be looking new, the new pitch in October, 3 weeks in a row. No better time to sign up to the season ticket. We're all looking forward to Ravenhill. We'll be there on Galway Bay FM, William, but thank you for your commentary today. Thanks to everyone who put this stream together. That's it from us. We'll talk to you soon, folks. Connacht have won by 15 points to 5.